welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday. We are coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in Lombard, Illinois. Again, wherever it is for you, ladies and gentlemen, day or night, I hope it is just right. And luckily for us, we have all the equipment working. And with me, of course, as always, is Mr. Michigan himself, the man, the myth, the absolute legend, Mr. Drew Gwillem. Drew.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true.
Wishes do come true as well.
Yeah, well, here.
You know why? Because unbelievable. You're not going to believe it. It's hard for me to even believe, but look at that. Michigan. We get to talk about Michigan.
We do.
A Michigan game.
We do.
And not only that, is the first one on the list.
Yeah.
I'm so damn proud of you. I'm so damn proud of you.
You know,
it's about damn time.
I've been feeling, I feel like you've been a little bit upset at me about this stuff.
Oh, is that why you put it first on the list?
Just a little, like I felt a little bit of aggression coming my way over the last few, let's say, months, if it be.
Good. That was yeah. That's what was supposed to feel that way.
Okay, good. All right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got what I was putting out.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Also on hindsight too, this week was just really bad for games. So,
yeah.
And this was probably one of the best games of the week,
now you're trying to downgrade the game. Okay, all right, yeah. Well, they're on there, but the game sucks. So yeah.
So Drew's in a good mood, as you can tell.
Yeah, as you still talk crap about him.
It's still. We'll get to it. We will get to it.
Wore this specifically for you to just kind of throw it.
I felt it. Again, I feel that aggression. I feel like I'm attacked. You know, I feel like I'm being judged.
Always,
of course.
Why would we do a show together without being judgmental towards each other?
I don't know. You know what? That's no fun, right? That's no fun at all.
Yeah. You poke at people's flaws. You know, it's more fun that way.
It's what we do.
It's a little razzle dazzle,
and we take it with pride. We love it. We admit it. Unless you're like some sourpusses who are not here, who just kind of are like whatever, and they don't like being made fun of. So
yeah, well,
that's
how you know you're true friends. Or if they talk extreme crap to you.
Yeah.
We're going to break you down and then build you back up.
Absolutely. Well, sometimes we'll really break you down, and then, we'll keep breaking you down a little bit more. But eventually we will pick you up. I promise you.
Sort of.
Hint. Otherwise, all good, Drew.
Yeah.
I know, tired and hungry as usual.
The same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm in the same boat. Well, Drew, we got a lot to talk about. Are you ready to get to it?
Absolutely. And there's football on tonight. So
and there's football on, and it should be a good one.
Should be a good one.
All right. Ready to do it?
Let's do it.
Let's go, folks. So for the first half, we're kicking this off with the NBA because the season is starting to get into not in the midst of it, but we're getting into the sort of the meat of it, if you will. We're 15 games or so into the season right now, and we're going to start with the Bulls because right now with the Chicago Bulls, not a very good go. Looked good at the very, very, very beginning, and unfortunately, it has just kind of derailed from here. The Bulls right now are 6-9. As of this point right now, they are 19th in scoring.
Fourth in the Central.
Fourth in the Central, they are sitting at right now.
3 straight losses.
Yes, 3 straight losses. And they also they're still in the top 12, though, for defense for points allowed, which is good to see considering that they've had some very questionable defensive games. And
they've had some really good ones.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's been a very topsy-turvy year for them here in the first 15. But, Drew, right off the get-go, for this start for the Bulls, we'll get more into the meat of this, but just on the overall view of what we're seeing, what are your thoughts for the Bulls thus far for this team?
They look like the same team, basically.
Okay.
As we had
coming in from last
year.
Okay.
For the most part,
Yeah.
It's nice to bring in Dragic and Drummond and see them producing.
Absolutely.
And being really good bench players so far. But overall, it's the same thing running out there. We're seeing the same things happen. Your stars are scoring 25 to 30, and you're still getting blown out.
Yeah.
Vooch hasn't been the guy that we hoped he would be. He still hasn't been. They didn't do enough. They didn't bring enough into this team to be the team that they're trying to be. Yeah. That shoots a bunch of threes and makes them, because they are not that team.
No, not at all.
Zach's not the guy that I think we all hoped he would be.
Yeah, that's been a hard one to watch, knowing that we know he's so talented, but at the same time, watching him struggle at times to do the simplest things, shooting a simple jumper from mid range and even hitting threes, which is what you paid $250 million for, and he's just not. It's just not clicking. It's just not getting there. So it's hard to watch. It really is. But please,
Right. Yeah. And at one point, I heard on the broadcast that the Bulls were number 1 in the league in defensive efficiency,
yeah,
and was very surprised to hear that. But
Yes.
you know how guys off the bench come in and play some tough D. Caruso, Javonte Green does. Patrick Williams did a pretty good job against Ingram last night.
yeah, absolutely.
Even though they still got blown out.
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I feel like this team needed a lot more brought in,
yeah,
and whether that those opportunities were there for this team to get more than what they did, I don't know. But I think something's going to have to change with this team if they want to take that next step.
yeah, for sure. This is a team that we have to remember. They're older with some of their veterans, right? Vucevic is up there. You've got DeRozan, who's now going to be hitting 34 here very soon. So you have to kind of keep that in mind because their timeline may not be as long as you would like it to be. They're playing excellent basketball at times, but how long can they keep this up? It's an 82-game season. And at some point, you may have to consider where you're going to maybe, have to give them a break because maybe they're dealing with some sort of injury or something, right? Something like that. So there's a lot of cause for concern for this team certainly going forward, considering they started off, 3-2? We were talking about them. They were looking good. They were competing with some of the better teams at that point. They were beating some teams that they should be beating. And now we're kind of getting to that stretch where they're starting to play some teams here that they should be really, I would say, kind of being tick for tack with. And they're falling behind because of mismanaged, defensive efforts, or not being able to find the open man and get the open shot, or not being able to sink, simple floaters and jump shots and things like that. But you brought up the 3-point stuff, obviously, and that's kind of been one of the things that people have been talking a lot about, right? That being on the perimeter on both ends of the ball has kind of been something the Bulls are very much lacking in, right? Right now for the Bulls, they're in the middle of the pack for 3-point shooting at like 35%, but they're giving up about almost 40% at the three. They're 26th right now in 3-point percentage on the defensive side. So
it's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not good at all. And we saw in games like Washington, and you saw in this game recently against New Orleans, they were letting these guys, like Trey Murphy III, I think, is a fine player. I don't know if he's supposed to be this good, but he looked great in this game.
Sure did.
Because they just really kind of let him have the 3-point line and just said, okay, go for it. And he's like, all right, if you're just going to give it to me, I'm just going to do it. Same thing with CJ McCollum. Same thing with Brandon Ingram. Like you said, Patrick Williams did a really good job on him, but you were still giving him enough space there to get off that 3-point shot. He's 6'9". You got to get in his face. You got to make him feel that presence, take away that airspace, all that stuff. And that just seems to be a problem there. So, Drew, I mean, do you think that there's any possibility for this Bulls team to potentially fix it with this? I mean, you said changes need to be made to the roster. Do you think there's something that can be done still with this roster to help stop the 3 points from raining in? Or do you think that this is something where they may need to go potentially fishing, if you will, for more help, both shooting 3-pointers and defending it? What are your thoughts?
I think as far as shooting it goes, they need more help.
Okay.
We saw it last year. We're seeing it again. It's the same story.
Yeah.
Okay. So they need more help making them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would be fine if they just played better defense.
Yeah.
So find whoever you have to find on your team now.
Right.
That's willing to actually step up and play more defense and give them more minutes.
Yeah.
You know what Caruso is going to bring you. Javonte Green's plays his butt off.
Absolutely.
Night after night. So maybe those guys are going to start to need more minutes over if Iowa's only going to go out and get you 1 assist,
Yeah.
like that's not very good.
Right. Yeah.
You're the point guard. You
Yeah.
need more.
Yeah.
We saw him early on in the season looking like he was taking that next step.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now you kind of fall off some.
Right.
So we need those things to keep going in the right direction. I don't know if this organization was hoping like, okay, well, when Lonzo Ball gets back, we'll have that's another piece that's been missing. So we're hoping once he gets back, we're going to be okay
Yeah. Absolutely.
with what we added in the offseason.
Right.
Well, there's no guarantee of that happening, that he's even going to make it back this year.
Mhm.
Looking better than hopefully what that sounds like. But
Yeah.
so hopefully we'll get him back around January, beginning of February, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Very nice.
But you're not going to know.
Yeah. Well,
So-
and that's the tough thing too, right? Because even if he does come back, how's the injury going to handle? How's he going to be? We watched him last year develop and be the kind of player that we saw him be in New Orleans, which was a 3-and-D guy who has great ability to pass the ball, play on the perimeter on defense, and score his points to help the offense. And really, his passing helped charge the offense. You could see the passes that he made the difference in Levine being able to go up to the rack and be able to take one down.
You're seeing some of that with Dragic too.
Absolutely. And then that's the thing is Dragic adds that, and that speaks a lot to Lonzo considering he's 23, 24, and Dragic has that same mentality. They're on the equal playing. That says he's got a veteran mentality. You want that out there. So I agree with you. Like Dragic maybe should be getting maybe more minutes, and Caruso certainly I think should be getting more minutes because it's clear the point guard situation is not figured out like we thought it would be. I don't think you should completely tear away Dosunmu from the starting spot, but consider dialing back the minutes, give other guys the chance because maybe the workload is a lot to throw on a guy and say, okay, second year in, we need you to be the guy for 30 plus minutes. Maybe 20 minutes or something like that, and then say, Caruso, you're in. Take the reins, take control, and then let Dragic do a little bit of work too. You have enough guys.
I think Dragic has to stick more where he's been at
the bench.
Yeah. Well, definitely the bench, but minutes wise, I don't want to overdo it with him
Right,
at this point in his
37,
career,
yeah.
at his age. We want him to still be able to do these things later on in the season as
absolutely.
well. And if we overdo it with him now, he's going to be trashed.
Don't
by
burn him out.
Right.
Yeah, it's I'm at a loss for words. Unfortunately, it's to some degree on it because it's just disappointing because obviously as a Bulls fan you wanted to see them do
after last year,
right. But I
the
also
steps they made.
yeah, but at the same time I guess take away the Bulls fanship just as a straight up sports and everything like that. There was always the sense like this is gonna probably happen. Like they did not end the season very well, so this could be something that there is a hangover. And like we said in the offseason, adding Dragic and adding Drummond, they were nice pieces to bring in, but they should have been
not
aiming
enough.
for more. No, exactly. You and me were just talking before. I would really like to maybe hear them put their hat in the ring for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I know that's a huge long shot because that's in the division. The Pacers right now are actually in a playoff spot as we speak. We'll get into that here soon. But I would say if they sound willing to talk. So if they're willing to talk about making a move, I would say entertain it. Because I think even the Pacers realize, like, okay, we started off strong, but they still have a long ways to go themselves. They're kind of in the Bulls shape where it's like, oh, we didn't think we were going to go off this well. Like, things are going really in their favor. I don't think that'll be the case by the end of the year. They still want to get draft picks. They still want to rebuild. They want to build around Halliburton and all those young guys coming in. So I would just say if you're the Bulls, see what the offer is. I'm sure the Pacers will be like, bleed him dry. But Hield's a really probably one of the more solid three-point shooters out there. And Turner's, you're talking about another defensive player that you can put down low. And nothing against Vooch, but the guy gets rebounds. He still gets you like 18 points. And it's the 3 blocks a game that's really nice to have too.
Yeah.
So that would help out a lot. But Drew, they've got a road ahead of them on the road. This is going to be a rough one for them. So their next 8 games, they're playing at home against Orlando. Then they go to Boston. Or then they're at home against Boston. And then it's a road trip to the West. And It's Milwaukee, it's OKC, it's Utah, it's Phoenix, it's Golden State, it's Sacramento. Some of those names you may have heard, and you're kind of going, oh, but their records, that doesn't mean anything.
Nope.
That means nothing to me at all. You know who these teams are. You know who's on those teams. Drew, this is a rough one for them. How do you see these next 8 games going for the Bulls potentially? I know. I don't want to answer it either.
Not well.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so they should beat Orlando.
Yes.
They're still as up and coming as Orlando is. They're still better. They still are better a team than them.
Absolutely.
They should beat Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a very losable game.
Absolutely.
We've seen it happen before.
Absolutely.
Okay. Boston, you know who Boston is. I
Yep.
don't see them winning. I think that's going to be a loss.
Yeah.
2 in a row there with Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a really good team. Giannis, they haven't, unless Drummond's going to play the whole game, he's not going to be able to stop them the whole time.
No.
There's nobody that can really stop
No.
Giannis. Again.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, jeez.
You should be able to beat OKC.
You would think.
You should be able to.
Yeah.
But again, the way they've been playing, it's a very losable game.
Particularly a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Exactly.
He's
a very nice player.
Absolutely.
They have some nice young pieces too.
Yeah.
So
There's another one maybe you should consider calling just in case. Just saying.
just in case.
Just in case.
And the next one, Utah, you should have been able to win that one. Again, but now Lauri Markkanen's having a career resurgence.
Yeah.
He figured out how to play basketball. He's playing really well for them. Jordan
Absolutely.
Clarkson's playing really well for them.
Yep.
Now that one's a toss-up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Phoenix, Golden State, Sacramento's been playing well.
mm-hmm. Sacramento just beat the pants off of you know who. Good old Brooklyn. So
Yeah, that's not saying a whole
No,
lot.
no,
though,
I
don't
know,
think.
I know,
Sacramento's another one. They could win as well.
yes.
It's up in the air.
Yeah, this is the Utah, the Sacramento game, and I would even say the OKC game right now for me are kind of coin flips.
Yeah.
I think that'll be like a last possession of the ball in the last 2 minutes is where it's going to come down to. Golden State, I don't care what the record says.
No, they're
Curry just went for 50 and they lost. Okay, I'm not even close to saying like they're going to be able to challenge them. No way.
no.
Phoenix looks like they're still well-rounded. I mean, Ayton doesn't look like he's unhappy anymore, so maybe things are fixed there. They're too good. I wish I could give them something. I know they looked competitive against Boston the first time, and I saw people going, "Oh, they stuck it to."
They beat the pants off of Boston the one game.
Yeah,
but
right. But
I don't see that. Not the way they're playing now.
no, the chemistry's there. They got everybody back healthy as far as I know, and they look like they're running. And yeah, Milwaukee, come on. Giannis is the dominator right now. Probably gonna win another MVP. He's playing like it. Although Shea Gilgeous is challenging him right now, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, as far as I can tell, I think the only games that they should actually win at this point, that's a legitimate win, is Orlando. So that's not good. That's not good at all. But I guess we'll see what happens with the Bulls. It's a long run for them. Perhaps the road will be good for them.
Still early.
Absolutely. And last year, they were better on the road than they were actually at home. So maybe the road will be kind to them again. We will see what happens with them. It's a long journey, though. That's for sure. It's a lot of games on the road in the West, and a lot of good teams too. All right, Drew. Real quick, we got the NBA season, as we already mentioned. Some of these teams. We've got the standings here. Let's just go through these standings, kind of see where everyone sits, and kind of just give our thoughts on where everyone is, shall we?
We shall.
Let's do it. So let's start in the East. These are the teams that are bound for playoff town as of now. Remember, this is early in the season. So we've got Boston in first, Milwaukee in second, Atlanta third, Cleveland fourth, Toronto fifth, and the Pacers. Yeah, that's right. The Pacers sitting at number 6 in the playoff teams bound right now. So, Drew, of these 6 teams, which ones are no-brainers? I mean, I think there's a lot of them that are no-brainers. Which ones are the shockers on you? Are there any that you think, though, that will certainly fall off at some point? What are your thoughts?
Indiana Pacers, I think, is one that will eventually drop off,
Okay.
either by trades or just not playing up to everyone else's level.
Right.
That's one I think will drop off. Maybe Toronto or Atlanta, just because they seem to be ones that kind of are pretty good and then kind of falter some throughout the season. So
Yeah.
Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, I think will even be there because they're pretty damn good. Even Atlanta might still stay up there,
Yeah.
but they're usually, this might be the year that they're better.
Did they finally do it?
They finally get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be it. I mean, it's been since Mike Budenholzer was their coach when they had Paul Millsap leading the team in points that they made it to the playoffs. So I'm sure they would be happy with making a strong seed there at 3. I do think, though, they're the team that will eventually fall off.
Atlanta.
I know DeJounte Murray's made a huge difference to that team, certainly, but there comes a point where I think Trey's going to try to do what Trey does as usual and try to outscore the world because nobody else can score. Because DeJounte Murray's had his moments where he can fade away. We know Clint Capella's not exactly an all-time scorer, and John Collins has a history of being injured himself. So I think there's a good shot that we could see the Hawks, I think, potentially drop off. Again, I said it already. I think the Pacers will try to trade Hield and Turner because they want to rebuild. They want to get draft picks. They want to load the wagon, kind of like how OKC and Houston have done it. So I think you'll see them potentially drop off, and that's probably from their own undoing. I'm really shocked with Toronto, though. They're the ones that, I mean, I know they're good, but I didn't expect them to, start as well as they had. They're clicking. Even when Siakam's been out, Scotty Barnes steps up, and
he's a good player.
He's dare I say, he's their next franchise guy. And
he was Rookie of the Year last year, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. He was Rookie of the Year, and Van Vliet found his shot again. He looks like he's back in a groove. And this Toronto team is kind of like Houston. There's a collection of guys there. You kind of go, well, how good are they? It's like, well, each one guy can be good on their own, but together they're a great team. I think they can be a great team. They can be a challenging unit to the East. But Boston, Milwaukee, I'm not shocked with. Cleveland, I'm still questioning, but damn, they're playing really good. God, what was it? Garland went off for 51 last week or something like that. Even he's picked up his game now. It's insane to see how good that team is looking right now. I have my concerns still with them, but they certainly seem like they will be challenging for those top 3 seeds in the East right now. That's for sure. So I just say time will tell. Time will tell. Let's see if Donovan Mitchell can actually get it done when he's got many Rudy Goberts on his team, not just one Rudy Gobert being like, I want to be the star. Okay. Enough with trashing Rudy Gobert. We'll save that for the next part here. So next we've got the playing for the play-in part. This is where it may get a little sad for us here, folks. But we have in the midst, we've got Washington at 7, New York's at 8, Philly's at 9, and then Miami is just coming in at 10. And at the very bottom on the bench right now is Chicago and Brooklyn with the same records at 6 and 9. So, Drew, out of these bottom teams, any teams you see right now potentially making a rise into the playoff conversation potentially, or any teams that you see possibly even sinking farther into the season? What are your thoughts?
Philly and Miami.
Okay.
They're usually up there.
Yeah.
They're usually up there. You see what kind of talent they have on their team, and that usually by the end of the season wins out.
Yeah.
As far as everyone else goes,
Flip a coin.
Yeah. I mean, Washington's played well at times. New York's played well at times. Brooklyn, when they're all together, will play well at times, but they seem to be like a complete mess.
Yeah.
So, and our Chicago Bulls don't look good.
No.
So,
yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's a very good possibility that this team doesn't make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's very disappointing.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know what's up with Philly, man. I mean, I know they're missing James Harden, but they played well without him before. I don't know if he really makes that much of a difference to the team. But I guess the word is that I guess he's kind of taken the role of being the Robin to Embiid's Batman now more so. He's willing to take less shots. So
As it should be.
As it should be, absolutely. So I think Philly will definitely get up there. I don't know about Miami. Miami feels like the chemistry balance is off. And once again, it feels like because Tyler Hero's starting, which they did this before, and it completely threw Miami off balance. Like they barely screeched into the playoffs last time when Tyler Hero was in the starting lineup. So I don't know.
He got paid. He got to start him.
I know, absolutely, but I think he's better coming off the bench. Unfortunately, I think he's just a better bench player, and
just won a six-man.
that's true. And it's tough to say, okay, now we promote him to starting. Like I don't know. It feels like it's off. I think Washington may drop off. There's a lot of talk that if they don't start making more of a push, Bradley Beal may become, don't want to stick around. I know he just signed the giant contract, but Washington, I think, is more willing to trade him away, get a bunch of – we saw what draft picks were going for at this point. People are getting 4 or 5 apiece. What can you get for Bradley Beal?
Insane.
Yeah, absolutely. So Beal could come in a giant haul with players and picks. So I think Washington will be one that you may have to consider watching to drop. Yeah, Chicago and Brooklyn, I don't know. I will give Chicago at least this. There's chemistry on that team that I think can get them to that hump.
Right.
I do think Billy Donovan can still be that coach. There's work to be done, but they can still get there. In Brooklyn, like you said, it's a mess. It's a circus. As we all know, yes, that man.
TJ flashing Ben Simmons for everyone.
Oh, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose because if you don't know, the Nets are very
good
concerned.
work. Everybody loves Ben Simmons.
Absolutely.
No one more than Andrew.
He's my favorite player. Everybody claims it now. They're like, you talk about him so much, you have to say he's your favorite. You know what? You're right. He's one of my favorites. I would just want to give him such a good swift kick in the face. That's how much I love him so much. But the rumor came out obviously for the Nets. Kyrie, we heard, is coming back. It sounds like this Sunday. But they're also apparently upset with Ben Simmons for his level of play and are questioning his passion for the game. No, duh!
Again? You mean they're questioning all this again?
Again.
Okay.
You didn't do this before he was in Philly. You didn't think about that, really. Okay.
But you went out and got him anyways, and now the same things are happening.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah.
And now KD is like arguing with Jay Williams and Keyshawn Johnson about, you don't think I got leadership? No, I don't think you got leadership because you had to go to every other team that had a leader already. Come on, man. So
and now it's not working in Brooklyn.
No, and I feel bad for Jacques Vaughn. Like, he should have been the head coach, I think, from the get-go. I feel bad Steve Nash had to put up with this, and now Vaughn's got to be like, I have to juggle this mess? I'm glad Ime Udoka was able to completely avoid this for his own coaching sake. This would have probably completely sank him all the way. So that's where I stand with it on the East. All right, let's go to the West. In the West, for the teams currently bound for playoff town, we have Portland at 1, Phoenix at 2, Denver at 3, Utah at 4, New Orleans at 5, and Memphis at 6. Drew.
What the hell's going on?
I was going to say some names are not even in there.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts for the playoff bound 6 right now for the West?
Surprising. Portland, Utah, New Orleans to an extent.
Yeah.
At 5. Mm-hmm. They've been a good team. They've played well, but I don't think overall 5 is where they'll end up.
Okay.
But Phoenix, Denver, Memphis, I expect to be right in the mix of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still questioning Phoenix. I think they need a little bit more still. They're playing well. It's just we saw what happened in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They need more on that bench, I think, to help. When Chris Paul's been playing 70-some games or whatever it was he played last year, you got to get somebody to help give him a break. You got to help. You get somebody that can give him a little bit of a rest every once in a while. Yeah, New Orleans, I'm not sure about either. I think they've played well. They've been playing well even without Zion, which is a good sign. When he gets back, I think they're only going to get better. and I think there's good chemistry on that team, but they're still young. There's still a lot of inexperience there. I think they need to work on for sure. Memphis, I think, is going to rise. Denver, I think, is going to be there.
Ja
Portland-
Morant is so good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, I
He's-
love Ja Morant.
John Morant is one of the faces of the NBA right now. That guy is insane with what he does.
One of the most fun players to watch in the NBA, I tell you that.
Absolutely. The guy levitates, not jumps. He levitates off the ground. And like midair, he'll be like, come on, guys, try and stop me. And then
Yeah.
dunk the ball on you.
I'm going to
It's-
jump over you.
Yes. He is insane. Please do a dunk contest. Please.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be, oh my God. Him and Zion in a dunk contest. Come on. It's what we all want. Give the people what they want. In Portland, man, they are playing out of their minds. Adding Jeremy Grant to that team clearly made a big
Smart
difference.
move.
Yeah. All three, him, Anthony Simons, and Damian Lillard all scoring 20 points a game. Nurkic is doing his defensive thing down low, and their bench has looked great. And Chauncey Billups right now looks like a superstar. All of this while they're still trying to figure out if they're going to keep the team or not. Like, the owners still may sell the team. So, is Portland on its way? Is it actually going to happen? That they're in a good spot right now. 10-4 is looking pretty good for them right now. It's a good team. But let's get to the playing teams for the West, because this is where this gets interesting. In the West for the play-in tournament, you've got Dallas at 7, Sacramento at 8, you've got the Clippers at 9, and then you've got Minnesota at 10. And on the bench, just outside, is OKC, then Golden State, and then the San Antonio Spurs. So, Drew, for the play-in tournament, guys, what are your thoughts on these teams? Anybody you see kicking up, dropping out even further? Anybody on the down bench that you see possibly coming back up? What are your thoughts?
I think Golden State for sure will make their jumps. I think
Yes.
we all know what we're getting from them.
Mhm.
They've been there before. All kinds of adversity they've had to face in the past and have come through. So
Absolutely.
not concerned about them at all. I think they'll rise. Dallas, I think, will be a team that usually rises as well. We've got one of the best players in the world, so
I think he's the MVP.
he's amazing.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
outstanding.
So I think those. I would say those would be the two that would rise. Maybe Sacramento drops out.
Okay.
They could be a team that ends up falling out.
Okay. All right. I like that. I agree with the Dallas. I think they'll rise up. Luka's. I mean, if Giannis isn't winning an MVP right now, this dude's winning an MVP for sure. Luka's gonna. I would say right now he's number 2 in the world for best basketball player by far, especially in the NBA. Golden State, I think, will rise up. OKC may find themselves in a play-in position with the way Shai Gilgeous is just playing out of his mind. What is it, 30 points for like the whole start of the season thus far for him? He is insane, shooting over 50%, like over 40% from 3. The guy's outstanding. And OKC was supposed to be bad, and yet they're right there. Like, this is all without their number 2 pick, Chet Holmgren. What's going to happen when he gets back?
Right.
Like, geez. And by the way, they still have a good shot then to get those balls in the draft lottery for,
Wait, what?
yeah, for,
Wait, what?
yeah, you heard me right.
Who's sticking their balls in what?
OKC sticking their balls in the draft lottery to
Oh.
possibly get.
Sounds painful.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? That pain comes with a purpose.
They've had there's a lot of pain that's been around that organization.
But that purpose could potentially be what might be maybe one of the best young rookies I think I've ever seen play ever. That kid is out of Victor Wembanyama is God, he's nuts. He's insane. He's so good. And is it bad that there's a little bit of me as a Bulls fan that's kind of like, come on, just let it go. Just let it all drop.
Right.
Like, just let it be there. Like, come on. All right. Personal things aside, the Spurs are what they are. I think they still are going through the rebuild process. They started off strong, but they don't have much. They may be trading, actually, guys. Polo, I heard, was up for a trade potentially. They're going to start looking to move more guys off. I'm concerned with the Clippers in Minnesota, though, because Kawhi is this part-time player now that doesn't want to start. Paul George is kind of getting tired, I think, of doing everything himself, and even he's dealing with his own injuries. Like, the Clippers don't really have a lot after those two guys. And Minnesota, they were so convinced that this Rudy Gobert thing was going to work, and it's just become a nightmare. Like, he's getting in the way of Anthony Edwards. He's getting in the way of Towns. Like, he's not been the productive player that they wanted him to be to translate into wins, I should say. He's been able to do his thing, but it's not translating into the W's that they want. So, I don't know. Minnesota could be one that could easily, I think, fall out of this and maybe not be there. And the Clippers, too. I don't think the Clippers have enough to really compete with the best of them. And if anybody out there is asking, well, where's the Lakers? I'm not putting them on there because they're terrible.
Yep.
They're awful.
Crap.
And if the Knicks want to trade for LeBron James, go for it.
Good luck to you.
Why would you do that?
Well,
They're not that bad of a team, and yet you want to go and bring in.
I will be very, very upset if the Bulls trade for Anthony Davis.
Don't do that.
I will be very upset.
If he wants to come here, get out of your contract, come here on the vet minimum.
Yup.
Because that's the only way you're coming on this team, dude. I know he's healthy, but we know that won't last long.
For now.
Yeah. I'm not trading 3 first-round picks and all the bench players if I were the GM for a guy that, yes, is very good. And when he's healthy, he's been a top 20 player. But for how long is he healthy is always the question. He's Mr. Glass, and I'm not talking about rebounds. All right, well, that's going to do it for the NBA talk there, folks. And that's going to do it for the first half here. So when we do come back, we're talking college football, and we're going to talk about one team in particular. You know which team it is. This man's wearing it, for God's sakes. We'll be talking that and more
Damn
here
right.
on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. Welcome back, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. I'm still Andrew Valentin. I'm still here with Drew Gwillem. For some reason, I almost
That's
said
me.
I was you. I don't know why that almost came out of my mouth, but
Like Mike. Wanna be like Mike.
like Drew. I want to be like Drew. I mean, if I take off the A and the N, I am technically Drew, so in name at least. All right, bad jokes aside. Drew, it's college football time. Are you excited for this?
Finally.
Are you ready?
Finally.
You know, I'm sensing a lot of anger and tension coming my way right now. I don't really appreciate it.
What else is new?
All right, let's do this, folks. It's college
Stop giving them
football.
disrespect.
Disrespect and blasphemy?
Yeah. Yep.
Egregious,
Among other things.
among other things.
We can't say here.
Yes, not here. But maybe when a certain show starts up for us, we will definitely be able to yell all the curse and cuss words we want. All right, let's do it. It's the recap time, folks. Bring that photo on up. Let's recap the week because, my goodness, we had some barn burners on this one. Some solid upsets happened in this one for this week. So, Drew, top 10 games, what do you like in here? What really surprised you? Any games that weren't mentioned that you liked as well? Please, my man, go for it.
TCU playing a tough one, but still coming out on top.
Absolutely.
Looking good.
Staying undefeated.
Staying right there in the ranks.
Wow.
Illinois losing to Purdue is really, really bad.
Yeah, that was rough.
Really bad.
That was really rough. They didn't play a very good game against them, though.
That's 2 weeks in a row. Illinois hasn't. It was 2 weeks in a row
Michigan
they've lost.
State, and now they've lost to Purdue.
Yeah,
So
not good. Both teams they should have beaten the way they had been playing prior to that.
yeah,
And looking bad.
yeah, absolutely.
Looking bad doing it.
Yeah.
Oregon, for all the hoopla, they went back to what we said they were. There they go.
Unbelievable. That was a good game, though. That was a really good game if you didn't watch it. Like, still, Bo Nix played well, but Man, Washington, Michael Penix Jr., man, way to represent the Big Ten in the Pac-12, man. That was a hell of a football game for them.
Yeah, very good. And, just wish that Alabama could have dropped another one.
It was so close, man.
Yeah.
They were so close.
Would have been nice.
And you know what? This is getting concerning for them because they're this is what, their third or fourth game now where they've kept it within single digits, like A&M, Bama, Texas, now Ole Miss, right? I mean, they're in the Tennessee. That's 5 games right there I'm listing that are in single digits for this team now. It's like, this may not be the best Bama team we've seen, like Nick Saban thought. He's like, oh, it was just a rebuild last year. I think your rebuild's going a little bit longer, buddy. Like, I think it may be stretching out to 2 years, potentially. I know that's shocking to say, but, geez, they're not looking good. UNC, Wake Forest, I watched a little bit of that game because I thought it was going to be a fun one. Boy, was it. It was a barn burner shooting back and forth. I really wanted to see an SMU kind of Houston game. Want to see. They came close. They had some ones that they could have had. Vanderbilt coming up against Kentucky.
Yeah, that's bad. It's really bad. Kentucky has some bad losses.
Yeah, well, now they're out of the rankings and
as they should be.
Yeah. Vanderbilt though still staying in the hunt for a chance to be a playoff team. UFC and Tulane was a pretty fun game, I have to say. The white Justin Fields, John Rise Plumlee, who plays for UCF. Ran for over 160 yards or something like that.
There's only one Justin Fields.
Well, he's the white Justin Fields. So
there's only one.
There's only one.
Like the Highlander, there can be only one. Yeah.
That's very true. UCLA taking the loss to Arizona. I would have been more shocked with, but Arizona did put up a number on USC, so I'm not too taken back at that. Yeah, LSU, you gave me a scare, man. Right? So real quick, I woke up that morning on Saturday and I looked at my phone for the notifications and I saw the SEC put out a picture of Arkansas Stadium, ice to the bone, and I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." And I took LSU on the 3 on money line. So I was like, "This can only go bad, right? This can only go wrong." And they pulled out the win. They pulled out a win, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
Pulled out a win again.
Absolutely, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And then real quick too, shout out to UConn. They've now moved to 6-5. This football program was gone for like 2 years. They brought it back, and now they've found a resurgence, and they beat a good Liberty team. They're 6-5 for a chance in the bowl game right now.
Michigan smoked them.
Michigan's been smoking everybody, so.
Yeah, that's right, they have.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pit 6 time, and you know what that is. It's time to talk about the top 6 games of the week.
Talking about
my best friend.
Got it. But you didn't know this was a sing-along show.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. The words will eventually come at the bottom, I promise you.
If you don't know that song.
Yeah, absolutely. Drew, you ready to get this going?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to spend an hour on this one?
More of those silly questions of his.
So we've got Illinois taking on the number 3 Michigan Wolverines. Michigan is favored by a full 18 points on this.
Very nice.
The over-under is at 40.5. Drew, a very low number, but they're giving Michigan quite a bit on this. They've been blowing out most of their opponents at this point. I don't think there's anybody that they've really, outside of like the first half, they've been kind of hanging with. But how do you see this one going? Who are you picking on this one? As I ask, again, another stupid question. But I have to.
Glad you called it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know what's coming here. Drew, who are you picking? How you see this one going?
I think I'm going to go with Michigan.
Are you?
The way that Illinois has allowed terrible teams to put up points,
yeah,
I say this hits the over.
Okay.
Because I think Michigan should be able to do their worst.
Okay.
They have been doing that. They may have not scored a lot in the first half, but in the second half, they are shutting teams out.
Okay.
Shutting teams out and scoring points. Okay.
All right.
I think that's no different here. A game at home, in the elements, in the cold.
Yeah, at the big house, baby.
Could be some snow.
Yeah.
So
sounds like something's coming.
Yeah. So there's going to be some weather there, and in those types of games, what works best? The run game. Who has one of the best run games in college football? The Michigan Wolverines.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a big factor.
Yes.
Big factor. So I will say I like the 18.
Okay.
I like the 18.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to jump it to 20. Let's put it to 20.
Okay.
Nice even 20. Okay.
Hey, nice
Sounds like
even
a
20.
good number.
All
Okay.
right.
So I'm going to
Okay.
say the 20. And then, like I said, I like the over.
Okay. I actually really like this game a lot because I think these are two teams that, while certainly the level of talent jumps a full notch above and then some from Illinois to Michigan, these are two teams I
Sure
think that do.
does.
Yeah, it does.
Uh-huh.
These are two teams that I think do a lot.
Tell
of
me
things.
more about how good Michigan is. Go ahead and tell
I'm
me.
not gonna let you stroke it off.
Tell me.
No,
Come on,
they're
continue.
spectacular. Blake
Keep
Corum
going.
is amazing. I keep forgetting he's only 5'8", 210.
You just
I
keep talking.
thinking-
I'm going to go towel
Oh
off.
yeah, go by all means. No, I think this is a good matchup because these are two teams that do the same thing. They both run the ball very well. Like Chase Brown, give credit to where it is. That kid has been very good for Illinois. So I think you will see a lot of this is going to probably be a very big running game for both. I think that Michigan does win this one. I'm only going to say by 10 though, and I will say the under just because I do think the elements will play a factor into this.
See,
And
everyone, he's firing his shots where he can.
I'm not firing
Oh,
shots.
yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to put it first on the list, but then we're going to talk crap about him.
How am I talking? I'm still giving them the win.
They're going to win, but only
my
by
God.
10.
It's not Rutgers they're playing, okay? This is Illinois. And Illinois' defense
Where's LSU
is right
at?
now.
Oh, not on?
No, they're
Okay.
not on there.
Shocker.
Because they're playing UAB. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, it's got potential to be a good one because it's
Have
LSU.
I said that at all yet? Okay. It's just getting me riled up now. Jeez. No,
Yep.
I mean, Illinois has, the number 2 rushing defense, I think, in the country right now. Or they're in the top 5, I think it is. So I think, look, stopping both Corum and Edwards is going to be their first big challenge of the year. But I think that there will be moments where they'll be able to stop them, I think, in the early set parts of the game. McCarthy's young. I know it's in the big house, so he's got home field advantage, but this is a good defense. They've got good corners, so I think this will be a good test for them. I think, but if you, like you said, the weather, you add the elements,
Right.
the defense, all that stuff, I'm still giving them the win, but I'm giving it to them by 10, and I say it hits the under just because I think there's going to be some slop in this game that may slip them up a little bit, but that doesn't take away from their ranking, okay?
Big possibility for turnovers with wind if they do try to throw the ball.
Yes.
But at the same time, if it's wet and sloppy,
Right.
who's going to make more mistakes? And I guarantee you that's going to be Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that both teams have like running backs that feel like are all-purpose weather running backs. if you will.
Penn State had the running backs
Well,
too.
they-
Okay. Yeah. How many yards did they get?
Yeah, well,
Combined under 20.
yeah,
Okay.
that's fair. That's
Bringing on Illinois running backs, only winning by 10. Next game.
all right. We'll go to the next game.
Unbelievable.
All right, next.
Email him why he hates Michigan so much. Why he hates Drew over here
I don't
and
hate
hates
you.
Michigan. Yeah.
I'll come over there and I'll hug you.
Yeah.
I will.
TCU's going to kill it.
Yeah. All right. We've got. Thanks, TJ. Appreciate that. Next,
TJ's always
we've
got my back on
I know
this
he
one.
does. Nobody ever loves Andrew. Everybody just hates on me. Well, it's all right. I love it either way. TCU is taking on Baylor. TCU is only 2.5-point favorites.
That's wrong.
That's what I was figuring. So I put it on the list anyways. There are over-unders at 57. Drew, who are you picking with this one?
I've been on the TCU train.
Okay.
TCU train, those Horned Frogs
Absolutely.
rolling along still. 10-0. They look the part.
Yeah.
They look the part and they look like they belong. And Baylor's not the team that's going to knock them off.
No.
The way they've been playing and the way they've been rolling along.
Mm-hmm.
I say they win by at least 10.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I'll say 10, and then I'm gonna say the over on this one. I
Huh?
think they can. I think Baylor might still be able to put up some points. They've done well scoring this season, but I still think TCU outmatches them.
Okay. I agree. I am taking TCU. I'm going to take them by 17. This TCU team is really good. This Baylor team has really shrunk. I mean, they've lost a lot in terms of like momentum and everything. TCU, they're the best team in the Big 10. Or Big 12. I don't know who's going to beat them at this point. I think Kansas State is going to be the team that probably is going to have to play them in the Big 12. I think that'll be a good matchup, but TCU right now is rolling. Quentin Johnston looks like a top-tier wide receiver. Miller, their running back, looks incredible too. Duggan, who's been their quarterback, has looked great as well. I don't see this happening. I say it hits the over, and I think it hits the over with Baylor barely scoring. I don't even know if they score a touchdown in this game, honestly. Because, by the way, TCU's defense is not bad. They've actually been pretty decent for the most part. They just against the bigger teams, I don't know if they're going to be able to handle a Stroud or anybody like that being able to throw down.
Not many can.
No, or stopping even a Blake Corum. That is hard. With that offensive line, it's going to be hard to beat. So it's the better teams are going to be a difficult one. But if they can stay in the hunt for this, props to TCU. I'm glad they're able to do it.
Props to them for just being 10-0 at this point, anyways.
Who would have thought for the Big 12 that we were saying they were going to die?
Because Stanza's opposite day. It stands true for college football this year, too.
Very true. Very true. Thank you for the transfer portal. Yes. Transfer portal has been such a blessing. All right, next, we've got Texas at Kansas. These two teams are fighting for the chance to finally just be in a bowl game, have the best record possible. Not do or die or anything like that, but do or die maybe for Steve Sarkisian of the Longhorns. But Drew, Texas is favored by 9. We've seen that before. The over-under's at 63.5. Who are you taking on this one?
I'm taking Texas here. I still think they are the better team, better quarterback, which overcomes a lot.
Yeah.
So I think they will get the win. I'm going to say by 12.
Okay.
And let's go over on this one. Let's just see a lot of points.
Okay.
See a lot of points here.
Well, I really want to take Texas, but something in my gut's telling me to go with Kansas, I think, on this one. And I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Kansas.
Those are just hunger pains. That's not
just burp. So you could call. I think you might be right.
We're just hungry.
Yeah. Well, I think Jayhawk, and then I think Hawk, and then I think Hawk to chicken, and then chicken to turkey, and then turkey to duck, and now I'm thinking about all
double
kinds of
chicken burrito bowl.
Oh God.
Sounds good.
I think I'll take Kansas on this. I'll say Kansas by 3. I think Hewers has a good game because I think this hits the over. I think it's just a scoring bonanza between these two teams. They can light it up on offense on both sides. And Bijan, again, I say Corum, I think,
run
is
away with it.
Top running back right now in the country. Bijan's right there behind him. That dude reminds me so much of Ricky Williams. It hurts. Like, seriously, I've never seen a guy at Texas this good before. He's incredible. All right, next we have Iowa at Minnesota. Now, I know why you're thinking, why is this game on here? I know that's probably what Drew's thinking.
Don't care.
Here's the reason why. There is a 4-way tie for the Big Ten West. So whoever is going to play against the East, this is kind of the make or break games. Illinois is going to have to do everything they can to stay alive to do so. But this is going to probably
be done after this week.
Yeah, so this is the case. Minnesota favored by 2.5. The over-under is probably one of the lowest I've ever seen at 31.5. Drew, Iowa, Minnesota. Who would have thunk it with Iowa? Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Iowa here.
Really?
I am going to take Iowa.
Okay.
I think they have a good defense. They usually do.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have that stands true this year as well.
Yeah.
Offense has been playing better.
Yes.
So I think that's what's gonna win out. I think Iowa takes one on the road against Minnesota. I'm gonna say still close game. I'm gonna say by 2.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go under. I think it's gonna be low, like it's projected, but I think it hits the under.
You want to give us a score by any chance? Considering how some of these Iowa games have gone.
10-12.
10-12.
There's your 2 points.
Okay, I like that.
Something around there.
I only asked because
Maybe.
Obviously they start the season off against South Dakota State. What was it, 9-3 or whatever it was, or 6-3, and then Illinois was 9-6. So
yeah, and watch them just score a crap ton of points.
Right?
In this
Yeah,
game
exactly.
Too. So who the hell knows?
Yeah. So take the under. Don't yell at us, okay,
Yeah.
folks. I think I'm gonna go with Iowa too. Their defense. They have probably the best middle linebacker in the country in Jack Campbell. That guy is insane. They have an incredible defense. I don't know what's up with their offense, but all of a sudden they know how to score.
Yeah.
So that's weird. By the way, somebody better draft that dude as their kicker, whoever he is, because he's getting a lot of practice time. I'm just saying. Like,
Very true.
I'd very much consider taking him as a kicker if I need a kicker. I'll say Iowa. I'll say Iowa by a full field goal because I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to, and I think it's gonna be a lot of field goals. So I'm gonna say it hits the under. I don't think this is gonna be a very high scoring game at all. Myself, I would say if anything, 14-11, something like that. Something weird's gonna happen, safety or something like that. Something odd will happen. All right, next we have number 7 USC against number 12 number 16 UCLA. I gave them way too much credit. UCLA obviously lost against Arizona.
Not good.
No, but USC is only 2.5-point favorites. Drew, the over-under is at 76.
Sweet.
Who are you picking on this one, my friend?
I'm going to take USC. USC lost that game and then ever since have been pushing back.
Yeah.
So I think they continue that run. They're going to try and do whatever they can to make a push towards the college football playoff and hope that some other things go their way as well.
That would be insane.
They can make it in as a one-loss team if they show out really well the rest of the season and some other things go right.
Absolutely.
So it's very possible. I think this is going to be a win for them. I'm going to say by 6 points. If Arizona can beat them, USC can beat them.
Okay.
UCLA, that's a bad loss to Arizona. Very bad loss. As a team trying to, or playing really well during the season so far and trying to continue that.
Yeah.
Can't have that happen.
No.
I'm going to take the under just because it's such a big number.
Yeah.
But just under.
Okay, just under. All right, I like that. I'm also going to go with USC. Caleb Williams is in the Heisman conversation for a reason. That kid's probably going to be the number 1 pick in the next year's draft for a good reason. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, though, still looks really good. But between the two of them, I'm going with the USC kid. They look fantastic. I say this hits the over for sure because USC has no defense, it shows. When Arizona puts 37 on you and you have to keep scoring to win that game, there's a problem there. But I'll say it hits the over, and I'll say USC by 6. I'll say by 6. Give them a nice 2 field goals, maybe a touchdown or something like that. Maybe I think this game may go to overtime, and I think this could be like game of the week. Like I think this is the first time they've matched up as ranked teams in like 15 years or something like that. I think I heard something like that. Like
nice.
It's been a long time, so
should be a fun one.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see the best of these two quarterbacks. Should be fun. And last but not least, folks, Utah, number 10, taking on the
I think you should go
Oregon
first
Ducks.
on this one.
I'm
interested to see you go first here and see where your thoughts are on this one. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
The one game, the last game, the one game you've got numero uno.
Oh my God. Where I was wrong with both of them whenever I've taken them.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Jeez. All right, well, Utah's a 2-point favorite. The over-under's at 60. Oh, man. Why'd you do this to me?
What you gonna do?
I think I'm going to go with Oregon. And I'm going to go with Oregon by 3. And I think it's going to hit the over. And that's just because they're in Eugene. It's at home in Oregon. I say this, though, with very little confidence. I promise you that. I very much promise you that.
Oh, that's exactly why I made you go first.
Know, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see where Andrew goes first, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Make me sweat it out.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
fine.
So that way I can say mine with more confidence. Yes, I'm choosing Oregon as well. Okay, I'm going to take Oregon by... I like the 3.
It feels
I
right.
like the 3.
It feels
They're pissed off they lost last week.
Yeah.
It's a bad loss.
Yeah,
bad
this
loss.
was not something they wanted.
So they're going to come back. I think they're going to do well in this game. I think it's close. I think it'll hit the over again. I'm with you on that. But yeah, close game, good one.
Yeah.
And I think they come back and get a comeback win here.
I'll be honest, you could flip a coin on this game, and
Yeah.
you probably whatever way you want to go.
Yeah.
You're gonna. This has potential to be like a game of the week as well.
Naturally, Utah's going to win. So
Yeah, of course. I'm going to put the bet down. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to say Oregon, and then Utah's going to wipe the floor with them because that's what happens. So.
everybody complains about our picks. Well, why don't you take what we say and do the exact opposite? Maybe you'll win.
Well, there is one guy that says he does do that every time.
Oh, nice.
And he's won money on some occasions. On other occasions, he's like, I should have listened to you. And he's like, well, you're the one that says you will do the opposite of what we say. So what do you want from us? You can't win either way then. So there you go.
That's fine. I don't win any more money gambling.
I don't either. I mean, we got a parlay this week for college football going for $50,000. You think it's gonna hit, folks? I hope it hits. It'd be nice if it hits. If it hits, by the way, there's no show that week. Next week we're all going out for steaks.
I mean, this is the show of miracles, so I mean, it could happen. I believed in miracles, and it happened. Okay,
It's true.
We talked Michigan first game. Okay. Miracles do happen.
And you still gave me crap about it, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Oh.
So, which is to be expected. That's
Yeah,
like a staple
absolutely.
now. So, but that's gonna do it for the Pick Six, folks, and that's gonna do it for our show.
Time for food.
Time for food. Time for football.
Food
not
and
football.
football,
Football.
And the greatest thing of all, I don't have to go to the damn grocery store tonight.
Nice. There you go. I still have to
Thrilled.
go to work. But hopefully I don't have to deal with more drunk people slamming into poles and then trying to run away from the police. That'd be very. I had a very.
Someone hit Ryan Poles. Man, who's gonna make our picks? I hope he can find talent.
I wasn't ready for that one. That was really good. Sorry, Drew's killing me. Thank you all so much for watching. Drew, I'm about to die here. Please
Yeah.
let the people know where they can find you.
Well,
Listen to you. Thank you as always for
You
being
can
here.
find me here murdering Andrew on Wednesdays and Thursdays, whether it's about Michigan or just because he's choking on him, whatever. Laughter. Murder, death, kill.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry, I had to take a drink there.
Also, check me out on Instagram at d.quill25 and Facebook at Drew Quillem.
Absolutely. Guys, make sure to go follow Drew on all of his social media. Send him the messages you keep sending me, okay?
Nobody sends me any.
Yeah, send him all the messages because it's not a community thing as much as you may think. So,
I see none of them.
yeah. Well, it's probably for the best. But folks, obviously, make sure to give him some like and loves. Special shout out, of course, to our boy TJ in the back. TJ, as always, I want to make sure you get some love, man. Our boy TJ Knacker in the back. Follow him at Knack300 as per the usual, too. Man, he does a great job in the back. Every once in a while, we get him on here to talk sports.
He is on point when I'm giving you crap.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
That's why, man. Hey,
I love it.
even when he does that, I gotta say, that's why he's one of the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. So again, it's at Knack300. Follow him on his Instagram, on all social media, right? TJ, is that your social media handle for everything? Okay, yeah. Social media handle for everything is at Knack300. So follow him there. And then, guys, if
well
you want
played. Make it easy.
absolutely. And guys, if you want to follow me, I'm the one with like a billion different types of names. So you can find me at TheFluffyGuru on Twitter, but I'm also at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram as well. If you guys want to follow the show anymore, you can always follow us at our Facebook page, where we're always going live with the show on Wednesdays and Thursdays, 5:30-ish to 6:30-ish. So make sure to check us out there. Also, we're on the YouTube side as well. Again, from those times on the YouTube channel for X-Bomb Sports. Do you guys have any thing you want to check us out with on our social media at X-Bomb Sports on Twitter and on Instagram? And any questions or comments on anything like that, go to xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys on there as well. Real quick for the podcast, Blow the Whistle on the radio, 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. You can also check us out on the TV side. That is to be determined. Check out our boy Brandon Janeski at 94.3 WMKR, going down Taylorville. Sorry, I got the hunger burps again. So go check him out on the radio. Listen to him doing his thing at the 90s hour at 9. He's also got Baseball Banter with Brandon on Spotify. While you're on Spotify, check out a great podcast called Monday Motivation with Hannah B. And she's on Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, of course. You can also hear her at 102.3 XLC, The Afternoon Drive. And she's also doing her thing at 96.7 The Star with the legendary Eddie Volkman in the After 8 Hour morning show. Also, too, check out our boys at The Parlay at theparlay.com. It's Tony Lopez and former Chicago Bull and professional boxer Kendall Gill doing their thing, talking about boxing, MMA, and all things combat sports. And last but not least, if you need any help for your fantasy football, your tips and tricks, Make sure to check out the Fake Football Guys. We go live every Tuesday from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. You can check us out. It's Dustin and JC doing their thing, giving you all the tips and tricks to help your fantasy football season as it's coming down to the wire here at the very end. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for all of us here. We're going to see you all next weekend. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. As always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.
Oh my God, Aaron Judge won MVP.